Welcome back, beer tubers. Today we're going to take a look at the other beer that I can get from the latest Trappist brewery. This is Gregorius from the Austrian brewery Engelszell. I'm probably butchering that. I apologize. It's a 9.7% dark Belgian beer, ale brewed with honey, it says on the bottle. And that's about it. This was brewed in 2013. And it looks like it says 01, so I'm guessing this beer could be about a year old since they bottled it. So I got it poured out. It's not terribly clear, but I was trying to keep the yeast out and got a little bit in there, but still it has some clarity to it. It's a pretty dark beer. You're getting a lot of mahogany into like ruby red tinges to a little bit of like a brown note. The head is sticking around pretty decent for almost 10%. It's got like a yellow tinged tan sort of color head on there. Let's get the aroma. Very fruity. Definitely picking up a lot of fruity yeast esters. Some darker malt characteristics. The big time dark fruits are coming through on the nose. Floral thing going on with the honey like the other beer had. A lot of plum and grape is kind of what I'm getting, is for the fruit. You're getting some deeper caramel sort of toffee notes. Honey floralness, there's some earthiness in there. Touch of a spiciness coming from the yeast as well. So it's got some nice complexity to it. Let's dig in. Cheers. Yeah, that's nice. Sort of creamy body. Yeah, it reminds me of your typical Trappist quadruple. It's a little different than, say, like the Chimay. A little less like banana character initially, at least I'm getting on the flavor. Maybe not as intense as a Rochefort. It's got some creaminess that kind of reminds me of Weslettern 12, but this beer doesn't quite have that kind of level of complexity. You can see this beer has a ton of carbonation to it, and that's kind of the first thing you notice on your tongue. You get a little bit of that stinging carbonation sensation, so it makes it hard to have really good tasting notes when that carbonation is just kind of really attacking your tongue. The beer follows the nose pretty well. I get a ton of grape characteristics, which is something I get a lot with the Westmalle yeast, particularly when Wesletteren's using it. Especially in Westy 8, I get a ton of grape character. The 12 you do as well. This beer sort of reminds me of those type of beers with the grape characteristic. And you get some of the sort of plummy, raisiny notes in there as well. There's a molasses-like character that might be coming from some dark candy sugar. I don't know if they're using any darker malts. Sometimes the Trappist monks won't use particularly darker malts like a special B. They'll just get all their color from the candy sugar. So not sure what they're doing in Austria. Within the dark fruit characteristics, you started getting that floral, sort of sweeter honey characteristic to go along with some breadiness. The finish is nice and dry. Just a hint of spice, like finish. Alcohol, you're feeling it, you taste it just very slightly. There's maybe a slight little spiciness coming from that as well in the finish. So it's not cloyingly sweet, it's pretty well balanced. So this is a pretty solid Trappist quadruple, if you want to call it, Belgian Strong Dark Ale. I'm liking it. I like the grape characteristic, and you don't get that in a lot of the American quads, and they're able to do that in Austria. So I'm gonna go A- on this one. I think with some age, it's probably mellowed out some. I would like to get another bottle and see how it does with several years of age, because this beer could definitely hold up to more aging time and might gain more complexity. But this is, of the two beers I've had, this is definitely the most interesting of the two, and definitely the one that has its uniqueness and it's really well crafted and kind of stands up to some of the other Trappist quadruples or Belgian Strong Darks. I would take this over Chimay Blue anytime, at least in terms of being this fresh. So I would recommend checking out Gregorius and maybe grabbing a bottle to drink now, another one to lay down for at least a year, maybe 2 years, if not longer. Anyway, that's going to wrap this one up. Until next time, please comment and subscribe. Cheers.